Dear students, due to the pandemic, the coronavirus, the entire India has been locked down. Therefore, all the schools and colleges have been shut. The Department of Collegiate Education has been directed us to complete the syllabus which is not completed due to time constraint. The remaining syllabus that we have to complete through online process, video lectures and WhatsApp groups. I am Professor Noor Basha, Department of Political Science, Government First Aid College for Women, Sindhudurg. Today that I started the remaining syllabus through the online process, I would like to take up Indian federalism. Indian federalism. In which we have to discuss what is federalism, what is cooperative federalism, and how the federal structure has been adapted in the United States, and how the federal structure which is adapted in India, and also we take up and we discuss what are the futures of Indian federalism. First we have to discuss what is the meaning of federalism. The word federalism is derived from the Latin term feudus, which means agreement. Agreement between central government and state government on power sharing aspect. That is power sharing. Some powers are delegated to central government and some powers are delegated to the state governments. For the sake of administrative convenience, the constitutional framers of India have been created, that is federalism, federal structure, that the powers are divided between central government and provincial units. In India also, that we see a federal pattern of society, federalism. The Constitution of India establishes a federal structure of Indian government. It declared it as a union of states. India is a union of states in which there is a central government and also various provincial governments at the state level, and also we have union territories. Totally, the federalism means it is a power structure. Powers are divided between provincial units and central government. It is federal structure. India is a federal structure. What about America? America also federalism. Canada also federalism. They are called as cooperative federalism. In America there are 15 states. That every state has its own powers and separate constitution. Likewise, the central government is also very important that subjects, that executes in United States. In the same model, actually constitutional framers that they borrowed the principles of federalism from the Constitution of Ireland, that this concept first introduced in Ireland, then it is adapted in the Constitution of India in 1950 when the Constitution came into force in India. It is totally federal structure. Now let us speak about what are the futures of federalism. The federal futures. Federal futures. There are various federal futures. One is written constitution. Written constitution. Where is federalism? There must be a constitutional document to state that which power belongs to central government and which power belongs to state government. Indian Constitution is a written document containing 395 articles and 12 schedules in Indian Constitution. That these articles deals with various aspects. That federalism also, the Constitution of India deals. The written constitution is necessary to clarify the power sharing between central and state government. If it is a written document, it is easy to read and to execute, to enforce the policies and programs. Otherwise, it is very difficult. The Constitution of United Kingdom, it is not federalism. The Constitution is not a written document there because the powers are not divided between central and states, that is provincial units. There is no constitution. That is the constitution which is based on conventions only, traditions, customs. The constitution the people of England follow. But people of America, people of India, that we follow written documents to clarify the power sharing. This is written document is one of the very important that federal future of India. And then supremacy of the constitution. Supremacy of the constitution is other federal future. Supremacy of the constitution. Constitution is law of the land. It is also a book of rule. There are a number of books in India, Indian Penal Code, that Mohammedan law, Hindu law, Christian law, like that. This is the constitution, also a very important book to rule the country, to decide which is right, which is wrong. In the constitution, the various provisions have been enumerated in the constitution. The constitution says that it gives the power to the constitution. The constitutional amendment can be made by the legislature, both the parliament houses, Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Otherwise, no constitutional amendment bill can be amended. That the both houses can sit together and to enact the laws. Here, what is the main federal feature is the supremacy of the constitution. It is constitution is law of the land. It is supreme document in India. That is very important point. That then it is a rigid constitution. Third, very important federal feature is rigid constitution. Rigid. rigid constitution. That rigid constitution is other federal feature. The constitutional amendment process is concerned that we can amend the constitution by simple way and by simple methods of the constitutional amendment process, and we have to follow the special method of constitutional process. Here there are constitutional bills. There is a common bill, constitutional bill, financial bill. Common bill can be amended by both houses of the parliament. And then constitutional amendment process is very difficult. The special majority will be taken, 2/3 majority, and 50% state legislatures must be given to the approval of that particular bill. This is totally rigid constitution. Why it is rigid? Why constitutional framers introduced rigid constitution? Because India is a geographically vast country. There are provincial units, union territories. To state or to clarify the power structure between central and provincial units, for that sake, the Constitution of India has been enforced rigid constitution. And then next one, division of powers. The other one is division of powers. Division of powers is also the very important federal feature in India. Division of powers. Here, powers are divided between center and state. Financial powers are divided. First, legislature, administrative, and financial powers have been divided between union government and the provincial units. There are three lists in Indian Constitution, that is union list consisting of 97 subjects, state list consisting of 66 subjects, concurrent list consisting of 47 subjects. Here, the Constitution of India clarifies the power structure between central government and state government through the division of powers, that is union list consisting of 97 subjects, state list 66 and concurrent list 47. That is, on union list only central government can enact the law, and state list, that is only the state governments can enact the law, that concurrent list both central government and state government can enact the laws. That is division of powers. Next, independent judiciary. The other federal feature, independent also other federal feature. The independent judiciary, it is being enforced, that is on the basis of theory of separation of powers. Theory of separation of powers. Theory of separation of powers, which is first advocated by Montesquieu in the Spirit of Laws. Powers are divided between legislature, that is lawmaking, executive, that is execution of laws, and judiciary, that is interpretation of laws. The powers are divided. That is, here legislature is parliament, executive is prime minister in his office, and then judiciary is Supreme Court of India and all high courts of the states are the judiciary. They are independent. There is no high-handedness of legislature branch of the government and executive the government. It is totally independent. No power to interfere in the judicial matters, either by legislature or Prime Minister's office. That is independent judiciary. Next one, bicameral legislature. Bicameral legislature is other future of Indian federalism. Bi means two chambers. Bicameral means two chambers. India consisting of Indian Parliament consisting of two chambers, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha, it is upper chamber of Indian Parliament, and Lok Sabha, that is popular assembly, like that, popular, that is elected by the people of India through the elections on the basis of universal adult franchise, on the basis of proportional representation by means of single transferable voting system. That is, bicameral means, once again I would like to point out, bicameral is in two chambers. America also bicameral one. There also Senate upper chamber, House of Representation lower chamber. Upper chamber represents the states and lower chamber represents the central government. And central. Here also India, the royal, that is lower chamber represents the states, provincial units, and upper chamber it is for the central government. In India, Lok Sabha, the members of the Lok Sabha, that they have been elected by the people through that is franchise. This is bicameral system. Bicameral system here, once again I would like to point out, bicameral means two chambers. Upper chamber represents states, lower chamber represents central government. That is federal future, bicameralism. And then dual polity. The last one, federal future of India, is dual polity. Dual polity. It is one of diarchy. When the British government that was in India, it is introduced diarchy and double government. On the same pattern, dual polity is being reinforced by the constitutional framers of India. Dual polity means politics, the central government, there is double government. Central government is there, which is under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister, and state government under the dynamic leadership of Chief Minister of the states. That means there are double sets of the government in federal structure. Only there is no single government like in England. In England, only one government. There is no dual government. There is no double government. In India, it is a double government. Double government, central government is there. The central government function under the leadership of Prime Minister, state government function under the leadership of Chief Minister. These seven, the points, the aspects are the federal futures of India. Okay, today that I would like to finish off this chapter. Tomorrow I would like to take up other aspects, what is federalism, what are the central-state relations, how central-state relations function in India, what are the results between central and state government, what are the reasons and obstacles of the Indian federalism, that there are 3 committees have been appointed to look into central and state relations. One is Sarkaria Commission, Administrative Reforms Commission and Rajmanar Commission. Tomorrow I would like to take up that is Administrative Reforms Commission. Thank you very much.